All right, folks. I got dust all over me. So now it's time for the trim for this pocket door. We're gonna do it more this way. All right, so this piece, it's a door jamb. So I just got a door jamb, cut it to fit. Put it in here, which I think I cut it wrong a little bit because I notched it, and I don't think I had to. So with the door jamb, we're just trying to make it level and plumb. So we're gonna check it. And right there is actually pretty good. So I'm not gonna shim it. If yours is not level, even all the way up, this up here is out a little bit, just slightly a hair, but right here is not. So I might shim out the bottom a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, so if I shim that bottom out some, it will level it out. And I thought I had shims up here. I'm pretty sure I thought I did. All right, so the junk I got in here, I'm gonna pause you for a second till I go get some shims. All right, so got some wooden shims. You can get these at a box store. So I'm gonna slide them in. Hopefully. Yeah, it's pretty good. And that's a lot better. We'll bring out this one. So when you're putting your shims in, make sure that's way better. Make sure you hold them in place. Now I know part of the reason why this is out is because we got 2 screws on the inside up there. And I'm holding this up here to make sure my shims don't move. And I'm using the smallest, I'm using brad nails. Boom. All right, so that's not gonna move. And we're gonna put more shims right here. This one, as we're getting closer to where I need it, it's just making sure that this point stays level at this point when I nail it. Probably gonna put it up a little bit higher though. Yeah, there we go. So we want to get it plumb. When you're doing vertical, it's plumb. Horizontal is level. All right, so, and you check it all the places, because when this door comes up to it, you're gonna want to be able to get the door level. I mean, to sit flat. So I'm putting 2 now. You need to shim at least. Now you don't have to go crazy with nailing this, because the reality is you're gonna caulk edges, and then I got more trim. You got the outside trim pieces to put on, but this was a door jamb. Remember that. I got this in the door jamb section at a box store. Now, when you're nailing these shims, I try to put a nail close to the end, but not the end of the board, but close to the end, so that when I'm gonna kind of cut this with a dull, nice knife, basically, and then break it off. Like I could probably break this one off. It's long enough. Yeah. Comes right off. What you want to do is make sure you get it flush. So I'm gonna put this outside trim piece on here. It ain't doing something crazy, like leaving jagged edge, and I gotta try to figure it out. But I trust myself pretty much. Because I put that nail there so it's not moving, so it's easy to get it off. There's a little piece of. So same thing with all of them. Just break them off. Now the other thing I'm gonna do. Well, we can just show you the other side. Let me move this over a little bit. All right. So on this side, it's a split jamb. Meaning it has these two little 1x pieces. Look like a 1x1.5. Those little pieces. See how little they are? Try to zoom in on it. Right. So you got those little pieces there. So I went to one of the box stores and I got these. They're real thin. They're 1x, I think, 1/4. See how they're not that thick? And they have, this one has like a little radius. You see? Little round edge. So I'm going to put that round edge facing the door on each of these. So see this round edge. And another trick, I pre-paint all of this stuff so I don't have to paint the whole thing. So what I have to do is once I nail it up here, I can just paint the putty the holes and paint them. Boom, we're good to go. And it'll be in there like that. So I haven't measured this or cut it yet. So I'm gonna cut this and then you can watch me install. It's pretty straightforward though. Okay, so I got the little 1x's. I guess this is like a 1x2. That's about 2 inches. I don't think this is definitely not a 1 inch side. It's like a 1/2 inch. Either way, we're gonna put it on here. And I'm gonna put the rounded edge facing the door. So I believe that'll be the best spot. And this one being level is not as important, but if your door is level, this one should be pretty close. So I'm not gonna shim this one even if it wasn't, but it is pretty close. It's actually level. And I got wet paint. So I'm doing all this near wet paint. So look, getting paint on my fingers because that wall, I just painted it. I don't think I showed too much of the drywall activity because that's pretty straightforward. You can do it if you can't get somebody to do it. But this is a simple project, pocket door project. So I'm pushing the door out. Hopefully it's gonna sit level. It should be just hanging because nothing's on, pressure's on it, so it's just hanging down. So now I'm just gonna line this up. I'm gonna use the outside edge of the trim to keep it lined up. And the order I'm putting it in is intentional. I'm putting it in this order so that when I put the top pieces on, it'll be easier for me to get them out. I shot that almost out of there. I'm trying to point this gun away from the door. So now I got a couple in. I'm gonna push the door back. Now I got this big doorknob on there because my pocket door knob hasn't come in yet. And so I don't want this door to go all the way into the wall. So I put this on here because it's an automatic stop. But I'm lining it up with the edge of the frame. That little 1x they had on here from the factory. I'm lining my trim up to the edge so that when I put the outside trim pieces on, we're good to go. So boom, same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And see all these little holes I just made, I'm gonna fill them with caulk and then just paint them. Because I already painted the whole thing, I don't have to paint it all over. That's a lot easier paint job to do in place. Same thing with this piece over here. Round part facing the door. Put it on. Match it up. Now this was a little bit more difficult because my reach to get to it. But once you get the first nail in, it's pretty much where it needs to be. Remember, any nails you use on this, you do not, I repeat, do not want them to be long enough to hit your door. Now these are going straight back. These are going straight that way, so it won't touch the door. But when I'm putting trim, baseboard back on, and this outside trim, I'm gonna make sure I'm using these little brad nails. And then the caulk is really what's gonna help hold it together. Now that little 1x not that straight. And this side I didn't check for level, which I probably should have because I got a piece of drywall mud in between the door and that, so it's not laying flat. So I gotta clean that out if I don't pay attention. All right, there it goes. It's just a little piece. All we doing is making sure it's even. And that's it. Those little pieces of trim are in. So once the door is right, it'll be good to go. But this next piece of trim, I actually think is the best piece. I'm gonna put those same little 1/5s on this side of the door. So that when the door closes, see, now this door was uneven too earlier. So I leveled this and then I adjusted the door. I had to bring the back side of the door up a little bit. But as you see, with that little this doorknob on there, it makes it push away from the door. But if you look, if I push it all the way, it's pretty even, no light coming through. That's what you want. But I'm gonna take it an extra step. The same little 1x pieces, I'm gonna put them right here so that it'll be recessed up in there. So that the door, when it closes, it'll be recessed inside and there's no way any light's getting through. I think it's a good finished look. It's amazing. I like it. So I suggest this is what you do on your door. Put this in. I'm trying to check. I already pre-cut these. Yeah, I got them right. Okay. So now what I'm doing, actually, I was going to have a door here to measure, but I think what I'm going to do, I kind of think, see, I'm thinking about it because if I press this up against the door like that, like I have it now, it'll be a little, maybe 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of this. All right, when I put the trim on, it'll cover it up, so it won't matter. All right, so I'm gonna I'm gonna pick the phone up and show you what I'm talking about. Probably gonna flip the camera. All right, so see this edge. So if I put it right here where it's perfectly even, when the door is closed, there'll be a little gap right there. If I put it all the way up against the door, there'll be a little recessed space right here on the edge. Now you won't see that because I got to put the outside molding, the outside trim molding on here. And I can just pull it over enough where it covers that up. But do I need it that tight? That's really what I'm asking myself. Do I really need that tight, or can I just leave the outside edge out here like that? I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna follow this edge just so I can have flat, straight, even edges. Oh well, we worked it out. Look at that, we worked it out together. So this is just, I think this is some of the best trim that you can put on here for a pocket door because it makes it look more custom. And if you recall, when I installed this door, the frame I just got from a big box store. I didn't build it on site. So I'm just using this edge, making sure I got it even, and nailing it. Run your fingers down, make sure you're getting it even, and you're good. You'll be good to go. So when the door closes, when it closes with the right, see this has that little doorknob on it, so it's pushing it out. But when it closes, you see how perfect that looks, no light coming through. I love that look. And then it'll look like a little recess. Once I get this one installed, I'll show you guys how it'll look like a little recess. Not recesses when you go outside to play, but a recess that you can stick the door in, a little hole. Alright, I apologize why that sound is going off. Alright, so while the air compressor was reloading, I just paused you guys. So we're doing the same thing. Just still making sure it's even with the edge and shooting it. Oh, and this one is out a little bit down here, but this is easy wood to manipulate. So you just do it, push it in, put it where you want it, and you hold it. Boom. And it's done. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the little recess I was talking about that it creates for your door to close into. See? That little recess. Now when I fill these holes and paint it, we're good. But see, your door slides into that recess. Oh, so amazing. Yeah. And then now I got to put these two little pieces up here, but that's it. And I say when you do glass, so that if you have to work on the track, you can just pull those down. Nothing's going to be holding those up. So I'm going to put them up. And I'm going to use those little brad nails, but they're easy to get out. Boom. And then the little basic trim will be done. And then we need to do the base and the outside trim for it. I don't even have the outside trim. I was planning on reusing the old, but I don't know if that'll work. We're going to see though. Anyway, so that's it. That's the basic trim. And then we'll figure it out with the outside pieces of trim. I might film that too for you. All right. Later.